Welcome to Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure. I am Adam, and once again, I am lucky enough to be joined with my good friend, all the way from Central Time, Mr. Michael Sharp. Welcome, my friend.
Welcome, Adam. Happy to be here. How you been?
I've been pretty good. Pretty good. What am I talking about? I can complain. I was going to say I can't complain, but I can complain. So
Nobody's going to listen to you, but you can complain all you want.
I spent my weekend hugging a toilet.
Okay.
And I wasn't sick.
Okay. I get it. You were painting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we hired out to have the whole house painted.
So
And
why are you painting the bathroom?
well, this is my own demise. But so we paid a guy to. I don't have a big house, but I painted the living room when we did the wood floor back in whatever. And then I bought 5 gallons of paint to do the rest of the house, and the paint sat in the closet. And finally, I decided, you know what? I've got cycling adventures to go on. I'm going to hire somebody. So did pretty well. I feel like to paint the whole house, a guy did a phenomenal job, fixed all the repairs, fixed all the nicks and crannies and everything. $1,500, and the guy was wonderful. He went throughout my whole house and up the stairs and did all the trim and beautiful. Well, he said, "Do you want to do the bathroom?" And I said, "No. That wasn't on the radar." Well, as soon as he was
Wasn't on your radar.
yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
I know where this is going.
As soon as he was done, a couple times we went out shopping, replaced the blinds. You've been in my house, you know that they used to have beige blinds, but since everything got painted crisp white with on the trim, so we got new blinds. Everything was fancy, but every time I came in my house, there was that dark bathroom, and I thought, I can live with it. Except everything bright white, everything is like a snow. We went with this color called snow, which is basically white, and we watched the girl go whoop with one drop of blue, and that's pretty much put it in the shaker, and that's pretty much what it's like. It's like, I think they call it snow drop, whatever. But then
white.
Yeah, it's white. But you come through and you look, and there was that dark bathroom. So my wife and I both.
Why there's a door on the bathroom.
Yeah, I did shut it for a while because that's bright white. so I agreed that I would spend some time and paint it. Well, I think I'd rather paint a big old living room because trying to maneuver and cutting everything in the bathroom, it's just not my idea of a good time. So there's where my complaint is. But besides that, I have no complaints.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you got it painted bright white.
Yeah, we went with the nice and bright. So now when you turn a light on, you're like, oh, like Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation. We are going to get into. So last episode we had a special episode. We had the domestic ride director Ron Ward. A lot of good feedback that we got on that. But you know what we missed? We did miss your highlight, your contribution to the show. Your donation. I'm just kidding. Your listener spotlight guesses.
Well, yeah, it was a one-off.
Yeah,
we kind of did it out of sequence, and this one will be a day or two late. But we felt it necessary to get that out there because we're doing the contest, and we'll talk about the contest in a little bit here. It's kind of exciting, and we've already got some participants, so we'll discuss that a little later. But yeah, I did not get a chance to do my my listener spotlight.
And I didn't get a chance to play with my toys, but I understand that a friend of ours reached out to you, checking in on you, but had a listener spotlight guess. So
he did.
Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for listener spotlight.
All right. This listener spotlight, the clues were as follows. The original area of the town was part of a military district. This community has an unlucky number of cemeteries within only a few miles of its borders. After World War II, the town transitioned from agriculture to industry and retail as far as its economy goes. And my state, if you know what state I've lived in, I've mentioned it many times. You've mentioned it many times. My state's namesake is represented somehow by or within this town.
The state of confusion?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just kidding. Now, Connie, as I've had a really good time doing, kind of like a cult classic, I understand that your favorite husband, Armando, has had a guess.
As opposed to her unfavored husband, which,
Well, yeah.
I'm sure at times Armando's probably her unfavored husband, but
Do you
as
think,
we all are from
do you
time
think
to
when,
time.
when she had to fly in and we had to pick her up from the airport, do you think he was the favorite or least favorite at that time?
I don't. It could have went either way,
That's,
but she did it with a smile on her face, so that's all that matters.
that's a good point.
All right, our buddy Armando was just touching base with me and finding how I was doing with the unemployment situation, that type of thing, and he gave me a guess. This way, if he gives it to me, you don't steal it. But he gave me the town of Bentonville, Arkansas.
Now,
Which, let me tell you, south of where I'm at here by 3 or 4 hours, probably 4 hours. Bentonville, Arkansas, if you haven't been there, number one is a home of Walmart, if I remember correctly. But number two is becoming a huge trail cycling mecca. So a lot of bicycle trails down there. A lot of people travel for miles and miles to go mountain biking in Bentonville.
cool.
Yeah, that's all I know about Bentonville.
Well,
So,
I have been scouring the socials because of the contest. I believe what happened is people got so excited about the contest that they did not leave any other. So, only guest we have is our good friend Armando.
and Armando, I hate to tell you, but that was not a correct answer.
Oh man.
The town that I was looking for is Tucker, Georgia.
Well, how does that deal with where you live?
I'll get to that. Originally, it was a military district number 572.
Oh,
Later,
good one. Five.
well, after they did 571, I mean, there was only one way to go, and that was up because that district was horrible. But District 572 later became DeKalb County. This town has 13 cemeteries within 4 miles of their town. So, a lot of buried people there. After World War II, it transitioned from agriculture to industry and retail. Nearby employers include Kraft Foods and General Motors. And the one that you really want to know how I've made that work is my state, the state that I live in's namesake is represented somehow by this town. I thought someone would get this. I thought you would get this, actually. Steve Walsh is the keyboardist and vocalist for the American rock band Kansas.
No.
He lives in Tucker.
All we are is dust in the
That's not their best one, but that's okay. That works.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Good old Kansas. So
well,
thank you, folks from Tucker, Georgia. We appreciate it. Thank you, Armando, for throwing in your guess.
Well, why don't we move right into the update with Michael?
I thought you were going to. Are you talking about why do we always have an update? So we'll find out about Michael's shoulder or clavicle. We'll find out yes, I'm still unemployed. Needless to say, not a good time to be looking for a job.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time. I hope that's what it is. But I'm, getting those resumes out there. It's interesting how much AI plays into this kind of thing. You get a lot of literally companies now are doing virtual recruiters that will contact you and talk to you. So a live person isn't even talking to you. It's all done through AI, which is really kind of, I get why they do it, but it's kind of weird. I'm talking to somebody, it's not even a real person, and I know it's not a real person. It's just kind of bizarre.
So, that would definitely, I have to say, that would definitely be strange. I give you that. I bought some new, I hate that we use the word surveillance. It sounds like so official. I bought some new cameras for my house, new resolution cameras. And something was wrong in the package. And I'm looking for a contact for Google. I'm not sponsored by Google, not paid by Google. I'm just telling you what happened. So I I called the number. And at first I thought I was talking to a human until something was just a little bit off. And I'm like, well, is that normally supposed to be like that in the package? Because it was missing. There's a magnetic mount that goes on the house. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. I'm like, I have an extra one, but I still think since I paid for it, if you could just send me one. And I was waiting for the response like a human being would be like, oh, well, yeah, Mr. Adam, that sounds good. We'll do that. And all of a sudden it goes, could you please tell me what was missing from the package? And I thought to myself, I'm talking to a freaking robot. I'm talking to a computer.
Yep.
But it was so good at first that I honestly thought it was a human. So,
Well, here's my problem is AI is taking over so many jobs, and they keep saying AI is going to take over more and more jobs. Where are we all going to be working in the future?
transportation. Come on down, buddy. I will let you
They
drive.
already have self-driving cars. They'll make self-driving buses, and they don't need you anymore.
I have a feeling I'll be okay.
Yeah, I think you will. So I continue to look. We'll see. I'm not to the point of I'm eating spam and things like that. But hopefully things start turning around here. We'll see.
All right. Well, if you are in the business for a business architect, if you're looking for one, I know a gentleman
Or business analyst. I've
or
done that
business.
too.
Yep. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
a gentleman, a good guy. I would vouch for him. Come on
Who's going
down.
to vouch for you, though?
Lucky for me, I should be okay. So if you could figure out that yellow line, I would get you a job driving the bus. But I got bad news
Fair
for you.
enough.
You are not a cold weather guy. I got to
I
tell
know,
you.
and you live in Michigan. It
Yeah.
sucks there.
Yeah. On Sunday, I went 5 miles in the snow hiking.
Well, that is your own fault now, isn't it?
No. That's
You could have just went into your little room that's right around the corner there, and on that big TV, could have put winter scenes on. Exactly. Got on your treadmill and did the same thing.
yeah, but I got to see
But what?
I
You
got
wouldn't have to been cold.
air,
You could have just done it. What?
the crisp air outside, all the wildlife. It was,
Mm-hmm.
oh man. And then I get me a nice
Okay.
hot coffee on my way.
Who you get? Oh, okay. I'm just saying there's alternatives. You don't have to go out in the cold. So fair
This
enough.
is true. This is true. I'd have to move all the sweaters off of everything in there. But
Well, they've been sitting there for a while. They need to be put away.
that's right. Like, why does this thing hold it up in the air perfectly on a hanger? You mentioned something, which is kind of a segue. Um, we got a new monthly subscriber. We put out the call to help keep the wheels a rolling, keep the show going down the
Keep the
road,
lights on.
keeping the lights on. And you mentioned spam, and I joke with you about spam because we got a new subscriber, and you said, "Hey, I can get 3 cans of great value." So I figured, that's an option. But I want to give some credit to Kip Uthold, and we're very thankful. Which leads me to a question, sir. What does Alex Bell?
You're putting me on the spot. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm going to lead you to a question here. What does
Okay.
Alex Bell, Joe Grammer, Kip Uthold, Dennis Keeler, Scott Garwick, Ryan Roenick, Emery Norris all have in common?
Oh, that's easy. I know this one. Each one of them have loudly complained about a pothole in their community,
Very good.
as if the city's actually going to listen to them.
Well, I mean, some people complain all year round, and my roads never get fixed. So I hope they have better success than I. So,
Well, we'll see.
You
So what
asked.
about them? What about those 7 people?
Well, they happen to be monthly subscribers,
Oh, okay. Well, you asked me. I gave you the answer. Apparently, it wasn't right, although I bet it is. They're all monthly subscribers.
yes, they bring their wallet to the show. If you cannot afford to bring your wallet to the show, that's fine. Would you do us a favor and leave us a 5-star review? So
Be good, just as good.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Speaking of hiking, I know that you've been doing really well. You and I follow each other on this Apple platform on the watch, and I see you've always been doing a great job. Are you outside walking in this stuff, or are you not having a lot of snow there? I have no idea.
I get outside walking quite a bit, but then also I take ample advantage of when I've got to go to the grocery store, dollar store, things like that. I park all the way in the back of the parking lot and huff it up to the door and things like that. But we got a little snow last week. Nothing major. Nothing on the ground right now. It's not like you guys where you get snow and it just sits around forever and reminds you that you live in Michigan and not someplace really cool. Well, cool as in warm and sunny, but
yeah. Tomorrow it's supposed to be freezing rain, which that's always a little scary, but we'll make the best of it.
53 degrees here tomorrow.
Yeah. Well. Oh.
What did I hit?
Oops. Sorry about
boy.
that. Well, listen. I know we have another listener spotlight, but let's talk about our contest, and then you have something as well, right?
I do. Yeah.
So
let's talk about our contest. What are we contesting?
We are contesting the fact that people can guess the correct route for Big Brag 2026. We were lucky enough to have the new domestic ride director, Ron Ward, and the, do we say old domestic ride director? No, the international original. Yeah, there we go. Original director on. He's now the international director, Mr. Franklin Johnson. Those two gentlemen came on. We talked about Ron's new role, what the plan is, and how to move forward with Bragg, what the vision is, and then I'm pretty excited for that organization, Franklin and his team. And to kick that off, you and I decided, along with Franklin and Ron, the 4 of us got together and we decided to have a contest. We're going to use our platform to share the contest, but this is going to be guessing the route of Big Brag 2026. You want to take it from here, or you want me to keep going? Or
no, I can take it from here. Guess the route. So what we are looking for is each night of the ride for a person to guess each night of the ride. Where's it going to start? Where's it going to end? And where are all the night towns going to be? And this is how we're doing it. Every time you guess a correct town with the correct night, you get 10 points. Now, if you guess a correct town, but it's not on the right day or whatever, say you say, whatever town, XYZ town in Georgia, and it's right, but it's not on the right date, we're going to give you 5 points. Now, if you want an extra 10 points, if you will send in a copy, like a screenshot that you're following us on YouTube or TikTok or, one of the podcasting platforms, we'll give you an extra 10 points. So what we're going to do is gather all those up. We're going to score them. And whoever gets the top score is going to win. However, there might be more than one person that has the same amount of points. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to do put everybody's name who guesses it correctly in a hat, and we're going to draw it right here on our podcast and have a final ultimate winner. And we thought about a lot of things. It's like, what can we give as a prize? Well, we could give a t-shirt, we give a hat, we give some patches, stickers, what have you. But we thought something like this deserves something special. So what we are going to do is Adam and I are going to create a one-of-a-kind jersey for the winner of Guess the Brag Route 2026. And whoever's name is drawn, we'll get in contact with them, find out what size they need, that kind of thing. And they will have a one-of-a-kind jersey that they can wear with pride to show everybody that they, in fact, guessed the route. So.
That's pretty cool. Now, if you have been able to see the graphic online, Michael made a good point to me the other day. I was just putting an image of a jersey to put a little enticement out there for people to guess. That is not the actual jersey. The actual jersey is going to incorporate the Bragg logo from the ride. It'll also incorporate a Road Adventures of Cycling Men of Leisure logo. We will design it. That graphic is just used for just to get you to guess.
Yes, I have to act as the law firm that's responsible for this organization. So I had to point out that we don't want to mislead anybody, and also no purchase is necessary.
Do we cheat them and how? Is that your?
No.
Oh! Sorry. No, you're right.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I mean, it's just out there for the purposes of presentation, get people excited about it. It's going to be something good, I'm sure. And that's how it'll go. So go ahead and get your guesses in. Now, we have had, it's only been a few days, but we have had some people get their guesses in. And what are some of the guessing spots or the guest spots?
I've got Augusta that came across. I've got Athens, Cave Springs, Lookout Mountain, and Columbus are some of the towns that I'm willing to share so far. So
Tucker's not on there?
Oh, look at the time.
Doesn't mean just because it hasn't been guessed that it's not right, because and again, this is a points thing. So
yep.
Right town, right place. And I do want to say, you have to guess for Saturday because that's our starting town. Where do we start? You'll guess Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And the guess on Tuesday is also the guess on Wednesday. And then you'll have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which would be the in-town. Now, whatever you guess on Tuesday is also your guess on Wednesday. If you get that correct, that's a twofer. That's 10 points times 2 because that's the layover day. So wanted to clarify that.
And as something special, just to make sure everybody understands, if you send us a photograph, a screenshot that you follow Michael and I's shenanigans on some site, whether that could be YouTube or that could be your favorite podcast or podcast platform, if I can speak English, or Facebook or Twitter or X. That's one of the same. You get the point.
Whatever. Yeah.
You follow us somewhere and screenshot us in the contest guest from our website. You can include an attachment and just show us that screenshot, and that's 10 additional points.
That's right. So do that. Just throw out 10 or just throw out 7 random towns, even if you don't know. It's like, just throw 7 random towns out and you've automatically got 10 points, and who knows?
That's right. Well, okay. So that's our we'll be sharing a little social media thing there to entice some more guesses. If you didn't hear the last episode, we are going to do a Release the Route show. Franklin and Ron Ward and everybody will put out their midnight YouTube video of where we're going. And then you and I are going to break down with a little trivia with a gentleman from Bragg. And that will give us a a wonderful show there to released at noon on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
So
our first show of the year, just like it was this year.
yeah,
We'll have them on. We'll release that 12 hours after the official announcement is presented, and there'll be some trivia and some more stuff about the route and the places that riders will be going to. So we've always had a lot of good feedback on the ride release for Bragg, so should be
yeah.
another good episode.
Well, sir, you before doing listener spotlight,
Spotlight.
you said you had something?
I did. I found something interesting when I was perusing through the television set the other day. Thought I would bring it up. I found it interesting. Have you ever watched Forged in Fire?
Is that where they make knives and
That's where they make
swords?
knives and swords, and they make they have their contest. They bring like 4 craftsmen, 4 blacksmiths out, and then they have 2 rounds, and that eliminates them down to 2. And then they send those 2 blacksmiths back to their home forge to craft some historical weapon. And I mean, some of these things are just crazy, off the wall things. I mean, they're real, but I mean, they're just like intricate and incredible. And they have like 3 or 4 days to like complete it at home. And if you
Oh,
haven't watched it, it's really, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know something about it now just because I've watched it, but they're making like layered Damascus, and they're using all these different techniques, and they aren't always given like, sometimes, they'll be like, well, here's some really good steel, um, but they're not always given really good steel. Sometimes, they're given like just junk, or, yard implements, and they're like have to go and harvest the steel that they use, and so they have to determine, because you can't just use any metal, you can't use aluminum, and you don't want to use like wrought iron and things like that, so you got to use good high carbon steel to make these quality knives and swords. And so
okay.
a lot of times they have to just go and harvest it, so then they have to know how to tell what's good steel from bad steel. So if you haven't watched it, I would definitely do it. It's entertaining, and it's contest, and some of the things that they make are incredibly beautiful. I mean, you just got to love their artistic creations that you would not expect from, when you say, oh, the blacksmith is an artist. Uh, Blacksmiths really are artists. It's incredible. The reason why I bring this up is I was watching the other night, and they had a really interesting thing with bicycles. And I'll tell you how this goes. They were given like bicycle frames. I mean, they had like, 3 or 4 bicycles out there, and they're undercover, and they're like, okay, we need you to make this knife. Here's the parameters that you have to follow, because you have to have similar parameters so that they can judge them equally. And they've got 3 judges who are like professional knife makers, and a professional Kali martial artist, and a professional historic weapons creator. And they do the judging on these. And he raised up the thing, and there's these old bicycles sitting there. And they were like, you got to make your weapons out of this. And so, of course, most bicycles, especially the older ones, are going to be made out of like aluminum. And so they had to like find the good steel, the high carbon steel, and they made blades out of it. And then part of their testing was they actually tested it on bicycles. So they had like a bicycle, handlebar chop and stuff like that. I mean, they brutally test these weapons to see if they can break them, bend them, bust them, take out handles, whatever they can do, just to see how strong that they make these weapons. And it was really impressive, but it was all around bicycles, and the testing was done on bicycles. So I thought I'd bring it up. Anybody who's interested in bicycles and has never watched Forge and Fire, check out season 5, episode 19. It's called Wind and Fire, and it's all around making these weapons out of bicycle parts, and then they test it on bicycles. So I thought it was kind of cool.
Is that the one where they like try to cut paper? Like, can it cut paper, or how fast can it cut paper sometimes?
No, they really don't do paper. I mean, they'll do like they generally do like 3 different tests. One's like a strength test. It's like, can your blade hold up to like, cranking into like deer antlers and things like that. And then they've got a kill test, which is always the funniest one. The Kali martial artist comes up there, Doug, and he, they'll use like, pigs or whatever, and they'll like cut into them and see how they can, and then he will determine, it will kill. So that's always the big thing. Everybody wants to hear their knife when he says it will kill. Things like that. So, I mean, they don't do anything like that. They do sometimes have them cut through after they put them through it. Like the final test will be we'll put up a line of apples and they'll have to like slice through it and they'll see how far it goes and how well it cuts. And I mean, just some of them is just incredible. Like when they're doing like the medieval swords and stuff, they'll be smashing them into like, replica Roman shields and things like that. I mean, these guys don't hold back. It's incredible. And some of the knives unfortunately fail, but then there's other ones that they're just like beaten and beaten, and it's like they hold together and it's just incredible. So
That's cool.
Check it out. It's very interesting.
Well, I appreciate you bringing that up. Always interesting to see a repurpose of a bicycle. And with that, I'll turn it over to Listener Spotlight.
All right. The clues for this listener spotlight are as follows.
St. Louis.
He's got about as good a chance at guessing the right answer before I give the clues as he's got after I've given the clues. So
yeah, that's true.
One of these days you'll get it right. And that'll be the day you like Springfield, Massachusetts. No, it was St. Louis. The city is named for a geological formation. It was founded in the late 1800s, in the 1870s to be exact. Canals have been an important part of this city since prior to European visitation. In this city, some indigenous plants are very well protected. They have some huge legal protections for some of their indigenous plants. And the city hosts some big league entertainment if the season is right.
Some big league entertainment if the season is right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Protected indigenous plants, canals.
I don't
pretty easy one. I know the answer already.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Man, I'm smart. Yeah.
So. I am so smart. SM Marty.
So there we go.
Well, all right. So looking at our calendar, my friend, the show will come out ASAP as soon as I can get it done.
Yep.
We will probably have another show on the 21st of December.
Mm-hmm.
And then, my friend, the Big Brag 2026 route release. So
one thing I do want to say is we need to have your Big Brag guesses to us, like dated on your thing prior to say 10 o'clock on the 31st of December.
Yes, because I want to celebrate New Year's and I have to get all the calculations and the guesses in before.
So any guesses, go ahead and get them in now. I mean, the route's not going to change. But go ahead and get your guesses in. It has to be, dated prior to 10 p.m. on December 31st because they're announcing it at 12 a.m. on January 1st. Get those in. Anything that's received after that, sorry, we have to throw out, but throw an answer in. I mean, what's it going to hurt? Pick those few cities and give it a whirl.
It only hurts once.
It's kind of like betting, but there's no money in it. So,
Well,
no harm, no foul.
I was going to say this year, the football season is not as scripted as it normally is. I mean,
but I live here in Kansas City, and let me tell you, after every game, they're like, they're still got a chance. They still got a chance if they win every game. And they said this before the last game. If they win every game and all these other teams here lose, we can still win, and we got an X amount percentage. And then yesterday or a couple days ago, after their loss to whoever it was the Lions.
No, C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
No, the Texans. That's right, Houston. Okay. After that loss, it's like, yeah, we're, all the diehards, we're still in it. We got a 16% chance, to get in it. That means we win every game, all the rest of the games, and all these 4 teams lose. It's like, okay, now it's starting to get ridiculous. It's like,
It's a
if
difficult
the
force
duck flies off my roof to the north and not the south and goes 3 blocks down and then is hit by a car, we could pull this. I mean, it's just getting crazy.
I know. They do the same thing here, like, oh, for the Lions to be in, Dan Campbell's got to go for it on 4th, and then he's got to do this, and everyone has to lose, and the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears and everything else, and I'm
temperature has to be above 65 degrees on December 28th, and just insane craziness. But
it's kind of mixed up this year, so
keeps it exciting.
How do you feel about the Indiana Hoosiers? I am curious. Did you watch the Big Ten championship?
I did. What do you want me to comment on?
There's no secret that I'm not an Ohio State fan, but that's not my point. I'm curious, do you feel now that the Hoosiers, because they didn't dominate that game, they had clock. They won. I mean, in the end,
they pulled off the win over Ohio. So
I am not trying to walk you into a meat grinder with our Ohio fans. It's
okay, I was just like, where are you taking me on this?
No. I mean, they won. I mean, it wasn't like, yes, we stomped them, but in the end they won. I'm sure the field goal kicker for Ohio State is kicking himself in the keister right now. But
he left the state. Or actually never went back to the state.
I saw one comment that was funny. It said Pat McAfee can find somebody on Big Ten kickoff to kick a better field goal than there. That was great. But I'm actually being serious. I'm not trying to walk you into a trap here. It's a trap. But no.
It's a trap.
So do you think now the Hoosiers go on and take it all?
I do not believe they will go on and take it all. No offense to the Hoosiers.
Gotcha.
You're right. They did not dominate the game, but they did play a good game, and they did upset. But I think there's too many variables.
Yeah.
I mean, they very easily could, but I'm going to say, if I was betting, I would say they're not going to.
Gotcha.
But before the Ohio game, I'd have probably said they're not going to win that game either. But I mean, they're a good team. I don't want to take anything away from them. And they did take care of Ohio. So you can't argue with that.
No.
There's so many factors at play into those kind of things that it's like, as far as the next step, do we take it and win everything? So we'll see. And there's a lot of, there was always used to be a lot of controversy around the whole who's the top college football team. And it's like, no, we got to do it this way. And then we did it one way. And it's like, we got to have this playoff system. And now, the playoff system isn't what we had all hoped. I don't think, at least from my point, what we'd hoped it'd be. I mean, with the whole Notre Dame thing, which I'm sure you know about, but, it's, again, any kind of times you have these kind of playoff things, there's always subjectiveness that's built into it. And that subjectiveness is controlled by us humans. And it's always going to be flawed. There's not going to be any perfect way. So,
right. No, I was just curious. I agree. It's not a perfect system. I mean, it's obviously, they keep adding more and more to the mix. The Big 10 is now the Big 20 almost. So,
getting real close.
But
Big 10, soon to be Big 20 or whatever, needs to pull in some smaller, weaker teams.
Yeah.
Just so my team has somebody to really beat up on.
Yeah. Well,
so there we go. There's our football segment for this episode.
That's leisure, right? I mean, you're sitting watching sports. So,
as long as you're not getting too upset and ripping your TV off the wall and screaming and yelling like the players can hear you. Yeah, it's leisure.
Gosh darn it.
What are you thinking? He's not going to answer you back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
2 years ago, as you know, I spent many Saturdays and Sundays watching almost every game. Up and even I'd watch Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I had to talk to somebody. I'd take some time away. So I now select a few. I know the game on right now. I think it's the Chargers and the Eagles, and so. But there
So
was
you're not betting on those like little schools anymore. There's a small little school in Boaz, Mississippi is playing some no-name school in Wyoming, and I've got money on it. I'm going to watch it.
when you go to the casino and it says, "Do you need help?"
Yeah, yeah. The signs that are all over the place.
Yeah. It got to the point where I think I was advertising and paying for those signs. So
You got it. You got to know when to say when.
I think win. I'm saying win.
Win.
So, yeah. I mean, that's sportsbook betting, man. When they first came out, I'll tell you this story. When they first came out, they had this just to get you, $5 bet on Super Bowl, and if your team won, you win $350.
But this is at the beginning of the season.
No,
it was okay.
No, actually, well, I think and to be fair, it's like when you and I were in Kentucky and they got FanDuel that weekend and we made all those crazy bets and made all that money.
Yeah, that was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you're right. But what I did is when FanDuel went live, it was right before they probably got tied up with the course and stuff. But I don't know. It was one year the Chiefs were playing. I remember being at Joe's house and I was connected. I'm like, I want to try this bet and stuff. And so all I did was bet on the Chiefs to win. I turned $5 into like 350 or something like that. It was like a gimmick, and then you could either keep it in there or cash it out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm cashing out. And so I thought, well, I realized that was a one-off. And then the next year I made all these crazy bets and they just happened to pay. And I'm like, this is great. This is easy money. That's why they call it gambling.
Which, by the way, if my wife is watching this, I didn't make any money in Kentucky in 2023, by the way.
No, you had to split it with me.
I didn't make any money. What are you talking about? You're going to get me in trouble. Don't give out the.
The only thing that was really funny about that is you had to cash out before we left. That was really weird.
Yeah, you had to let me. Yeah. They just opened. That was back in the day when they were just like throwing money at new people all the time. Because now Missouri, just a couple days ago, opened up sports books, that kind of thing. And they're not nearly as generous as they used to be back in 2023 when new states would open up. So they're kind of like they did that originally, and then everybody knows the gig now. So it's like, we don't have to throw out hundreds of dollars to new people. So
yeah. Well, I still make some bets here and there, but I've definitely slowed my roll. So I made some money on the Indiana. And if the IRS
you voted against, you went against Ohio. So.
Of course, my heart and my money go against Ohio, but that's not a shocker or a secret. But I sure love them listeners and leisure community from Ohio. So we have a lot, actually. We actually do have a lot. So all good. That's what makes it a rivalry. So with that being said, not here. Maybe there, but not here. But somewhere in my heart, it's a great day
for a bike ride.